There's something different about seeing the underwater world through your own lens. And as a scuba diver, it's not just about the dive anymore. It's about capturing what most people will never experience down here. Every detail matters. The way light fades, the way colors shift, and how close you really get to the life beneath the surface. Hi, welcome back to ADD Adventures. If you're new here, my name is Mark. I create video documentaries that bridge an adventurous life while navigating the challenges of living with ADD or ADHD. Today, we're putting two very different underwater setups head to head and seeing which one truly delivers when it counts. Today, I'm going to be unboxing the DiveVolk camera housing, which is to be used with my iPhone. I don't know a whole lot about the DiveVolk camera housing at this point. I've seen some posts about it. So this is pretty much my first look. DAFDB is the part number on here. C-Touch 4 Max Plus. Real underwater touchscreen housing for smartphone. Compatible with Android and Apple. Button-free design. Waterproof to 60 meters. So I do have the iPhone Pro Max 17. This standard packaging includes iPhone adapters applicable to, it says up to the 16 Pro Max. So hopefully I'll be able to figure out how to make it work with this one here. So here's everything you get with the DiveVolk C-Touch 4 Max Plus. So after I got the kit and I was missing the adapter for my phone, the iPhone Pro Max 17, they sent me the adapter for that phone, which actually I have in here. So you also get a little protector to cover here. One thing I forgot, because I did wait a little bit of time, so what they did was they 3D print these, or you can 3D print your own adapter, and I don't have access to a 3D printer, so I did have to wait for them to send me the adapter for the iPhone Pro Max 17. And in that time, I forgot to look back in the box for this little strap, so I made my own out of a little paracord. But this is a nice little strap, great to have and use. So you get the stickers, a lot of instructions. There are great instruction videos. Extra gasket, little cleaners, and a tool. I did not want to take my screen cover off. And they are serious when they say you need to take your screen cover off. So what happened was my phone got stuck in the housing, and what you're supposed to do is slide this in to separate your screen from the touch screen, because that can be a little sticky. And what happens is this little card slides, it's so tight, it slides underneath my screen cover and just separated my screen cover from my screen. And so really you just need to remove your screen cover. I did find that I had to touch a little harder than I expected, but it did work just fine. So I'm just going to set all this stuff aside and show you how I was using the camera. In the Puget Sound, it's very difficult, probably impossible, to record video, or at least decent quality video, especially at night, without video lights. And the stability of a tray is super helpful. So I definitely recommend one of these packages for a DiveVolk with the dual lights and a tray. That'll help a lot with stability. What I was doing for this, because what they sent me was just the housing, I was trying to manage holding these together, using the lights and aiming the lights, pressing record on the GoPro, and then getting in here to press record on the DiveVolk housing as well. So in my video, it was very difficult to get stability. There are times when I'm just out here using it like this, and that's okay to get stability, but trying to use two cameras together at once, one for lighting, one for this, and trying to operate the touch screen to hit record and pause was extremely difficult. And you can see in the video, but I'm going to edit it to where I try to show you just the most stable shots and show you how good the phone with the DiveVolk housing can be. So let's get into the diving part and show you some comparisons. The first thing I noticed with the iPhone is the large display screen, which makes everything easy to see. The next thing I noticed was the ability to zoom, which was pretty amazing. I was really impressed being able to zoom out, but also the ability to zoom in and get this kind of macro detail from quite a distance. I was impressed. When I compare this to the GoPro with the Macromate Mini, being able to get any macro detail, I'd have to be within about 6 inches. I thought that the iPhone 17 had a little bit of a tendency to focus on the backscatter, the little particulates floating in the water, more so than the GoPro. The GoPro just kind of focuses on the wider angle stuff, and I think did a little better job when there was the particles in the water. Seeing how I had my hands full with 2 cameras, I wish I played more with the zoom feature to get more detail. Using the rear camera on the phone was pretty cool, and it worked great in low lighting. In most situations, I thought the lighting was better with the iPhone. I think maybe it's a little more sensitive and picked up the light a little better. Also, the coloring with the lighting, I think, was just a little better. But here you can see with the silt, it kind of lost some of the focus. The GoPro still does pretty nice with some really close up detail with the Macromate Mini. Another thing to consider is the storage of the data. If you're using the GoPro and the cloud storage, you have unlimited storage. If you have a subscription with the iPhone, I think it edits the video and handles video well. I went with the 500 plus gigabyte storage on my phone to be able to process more and not rely so much on cloud storage. Just the way I was holding the iPhone and the DiveVolk housing on top of my GoPro, I had a little more of an angle from above with the iPhone, and so in just a little bit of a way, I think the GoPro had a little better angle for the shot, but if I were able to get a little lower of an angle, I think the iPhone was getting just as good a quality of shots. And if not, maybe even a little better with its ability to zoom from a further distance. And it was easy to switch to just camera mode to get a couple of stills. I don't know that these are the best photos I could have gotten, but it was pretty cool to be able to get photos. Thanks for watching ADD Adventures. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more adventures above and below the surface. If you're planning a trip to the Pacific Northwest and want to experience it the right way, reach out. Whether you need a dive master, someone on the water, or a guide on foot, 2 wheels or 4, I've got you covered. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.